Hi guys, it's Adam from Team Workout Movement, and today I'll show you how to build muscle, especially on the chest, just with push-ups. Let's begin. First of all, I'd like to show you what chest muscles actually are supposed to do, and then how to actually use it in order to benefit us with the growth of the chest. So the chest muscle is supposed to stretch our arm around here. You can see the muscle is stretched, and put it or drag it all the way over here where my muscle is contracted, as you can see. So we have to utilize this knowledge, because if I would go down in this push-up position, I would stretch the muscle here, and then if I would go up, I would contract it. So this is the movement which we are doing. That's the push-up. Then some people prefer to use the wide grip, so here. And if you look at it most precisely, you can see that, okay, while going down you get some good stretch, but then on the way up I'm missing this part of the movement, which is some additional contraction which we should actually want to have. So in order to do that, I recommend to have a little closer grip. And then for the grip, if you put it too close together, then you'll initiate your triceps, which again you don't really want to. But those triceps will work anyway, so don't be afraid if you feel them. But we have to find the ideal position so the chest works maximally. So how to do that? So what you have to do is lay on the ground and then put your hands next to your body, like this. But now you should find a space where your hands are quite like next to your shoulders, not on the level of them, and then that your thumbs should be almost touching your chest. So find that position, and from there you'll be able to extend your hands, and that will be the ideal position for your push-up. So if I would come down, it will look like this. I'll put my hands next to my body, almost touching my chest with those thumbs, and then this will be the ideal position from which you want to execute the movement. Alright, now we know somewhat of a technique. Now let's look at the grip or the position of your hands. So first of all, let's look at where you should have them. We know that it's the medium part, but then on the way down, some people do the mistake that they put them far apart. And this way you'll only engage your shoulders, the front delts, and then a little of those traps, because we are curling our hands like this forward, and you can already see that the traps are getting engaged. So we of course don't want to do that. We want to engage our chest. So for that you have to put those arms from this position over here. Now you'll find that it's quite more difficult, and usually like this kind of execution is done by people which are a bit weaker, or maybe just started exercising and they don't have the strength to do it properly. But I really suggest you that you should stop with doing this, because it's not even a push-up and you won't develop the strength which you are trying to do with this exercise. So instead, do rather lesser of them, but with a proper technique where your hands will come next to your body, having like 45-degree angle between your body and your hands. So just like this. You will see on the video I'm doing this nice push-up where my body is just like this. You can see those elbows are next to it and they're just bending forward. This is another important thing, because some people actually by going down don't bend their elbows like here and don't follow the path, but they're trying to like put their shoulders next to their heads like this. And of course we know that this movement engages triceps, which of course we don't want. So you have to like lean a bit forward with that body and not try to go just like to the sides with those arms and like go with the level of your hands. You want to go a little forward. Alright, now we know the width of our hands, which should there be. Then we also know the position or the movement of our elbows, and also somewhat of a way of the technique. But now let's move a little lower to what's happening around this abdominal area and also on the posterior chain. So if you look at me doing this push-up, you can see that I'm having my glutes quite tight and my abs engaged. This is so I don't arch my back in the bad position where your spine can actually get damaged, so you want to avoid it, and in order to do that you just have to put all the weight on those abs, which will take it if you flex them. And how to flex them? Well, you have to squeeze your glutes a little, and after that you'll immediately feel that your abs are much more contracted and that you'll actually take the weight. This is again a problem for the beginners, because they don't have like this mind-muscle connection, and it becomes quite hard to follow all these steps and to actually perform it on this level, because it's quite a lot of things to remember of. But after some time I'm sure that you'll develop it quite well and you'll be able to perform it just like I'm doing it. So guys, really focus on that strong core and not arching on that back, because you don't want your lower back to hurt. Okay, and the last thing for the technique, the legs. So some people prefer to have them split. I prefer to have them combined together. And why? Because if I have them next to each other, then I just have 3 points from that posture. So I have like my hands and I have just my feet which are together, and this way I have only 3 points which my body is relying on. This means that I'll put a lot of more work on those abs, because they have to balance all the things. Because if I would, split those legs and have four points, it will be much easier to actually hold it there. But if you put them together, you have much more tension on those abs, which I quite want, because I want to train them also in this great compound movement. So depends on what you like. Maybe if you're like a beginner and you have struggles with it, put them split apart. But as you get strength on those abs, I recommend to really put them together and perform the movement just like that. Alright guys, it seems like a lot of information which I just gave you, but now let's take it step after step so you have this correct technique of that push-up and actually are able to develop some kind of muscle with doing it. So first of all, this is like the absolute worst push-up which you can possibly do. You can see my body is all curved to the sides and it's absolutely terrible. First of all, we will start by moving our hands next to our body. So my shoulders aren't out intact, I'm not damaging my shoulder joints, and I'm in a safe position where I also engage my chest more. This is the first thing. Other thing, I'm supposed to have my hands a little closer. So I'm not in a position where I'm a super wide range, but I'll move them a little closer so they're just next to my chest and have this like slight gap between, just like a gap of my thumbs. Great, number 2. Then for number 3, you have to actually strengthen that body, especially that core, so nice and straight, and you don't arch your back just like this. And also don't forget to squeeze your glutes in order to again engage those abs even more, so put all the weight there and not on the lower back. And then number 4, put those legs together so you get more tension on those abs, and if you cannot, just put them separately apart. This will be the ideal position for that push-up, and from there we are looking to do it for around 10 to 12 reps. And yes, 10 to 12 reps is like the hypertrophy rate on which your rotator muscle and actually protein synthesis can happen. Of course, this rep range is a bit higher, it's actually like from 6 to 12 reps, but I'm sure that this movement isn't as difficult that you'll be only able to perform just 6 of them. So instead, look forward to those like 8 to 12 reps, and you'll see just after like using all these points which I gave you, the movement will become much harder. But if it's still not as difficult for you as it should, then you can of course be free to use some weights. You can just put plates on your back, or you can perhaps have a partner which will pull you a little to the ground and give you some weight to work there. Because we know again, we want to stay in those 8 to 12 reps around there for that hypertrophy. So if it's like you can do like 15 or 20 of them like really strict and nice slow push-ups, then it becomes quite a bad and you're not developing. So always 8 to 12 reps, and then if it becomes too easy for you, you'll have to use some weight. It can be a vest, it can be some plates on your back, or that partner which will push you from the sides. Alright, now we know the technique and the rep range, and also for the last one, how should actually the movement look like. So some people are trying to do like plyo push-ups, which means that you'll be jumping into the air. Now that's quite a good exercise because your muscle will learn how to work explosively, which is fine, those short fibers especially. But we don't just want to do that, because while on flying up, people use all their force, and then all the way down they just fall and don't have any contraction on the muscle. And this is quite bad because we want to use the entire range of motion, which means the up and down. And if you look at it more precisely, if you just jump with your arms up and then just fall, we are only doing like 50% of the movement, because we are only going up, and on the way down we are not really engaging the muscles except on the way down, like when we stop. So guys, try to do it like nice and slow, like don't do like really like slow concentrated push-ups, but do it like in a regular speed, nice breath, inhalation down and then exhalation up. Alright guys, so to sum everything up, the posture which you should have is like this. Follow all these points which I mentioned before and try to always think about them and going through them during the exercise so you are not missing any one of them. Which also helps a little is that you'll have a mirror next to you so you can see your body if you aren't sure about feeling it, so you'll see everything and you'll be just fine on looking at the technique, whether your back is arched or something like that. So mirror next to your body really helps, I recommend it. And then for last, the rep range 8 to 12 reps, and then adjust the difficulty based on what you need. So if you have strength to do 20, try to put enough weight so you're able to do just those 12 and then do it from there. I recommend to do different types of push-ups, so if you just want to train your lower chest, you'll do the regular ones. If you want to train your upper chest, you'll have to adjust the movement, but I have a separate video for that, so if you want to know how to train the chest, like the entire range, not just the lower one with the normal push-ups, because this is like just the basic technique, but there are like different exercises, like variations of the push-up, which target different heads of the muscle, and I have a different video for that, so I'll be down in the description below. Alright guys, this is everything for the video. I hope that you enjoyed and learned something. If you did, leave a like, share and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram for some motivation and stuff like that. Also, if you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below, and of course, thank you very much for watching, and bye.